Morning, everybody. Welcome back to Mountaineer Bushcraft and Survival Systems. Today we're coming at you with another piece of budget gear from Walmart. This is a Swiss Tack, and I cannot pronounce the name of the knife, so yeah, not even going to try. So drop you down here so we get a better look at it, and we'll go over some of the features of the knife and the sheath. So stay with me. Alrighty, guys, here we are. This is usually runs close to $40. This one was actually marked down to $32.99 at Walmart. So we got a 4 1/4 inch blade, and it's about 10 inches overall length. Canvas micarta handle scales, and the fit and finish is not the greatest, but for the price, yeah, you know. And real quick, shout out to Peterbilt Knife Guy. He saved me a lot of work because I was going to take these scales off, see if there were cutouts, and I saw that there's a separation here. Right here on both sides. Now this is keyed in. This is actually going through the steel of the knife, and there is just literally a cutout, and this fits down into it, so it's keyed to stay in there. It's made out of anodized aluminum. I have no idea why they did that instead of just leaving that the just the Aussate steel that the knife's made out of. I'm not sure, but maybe aesthetic purposes, but you know, there you go. Now this ain't a very big knife. Of course, mind you, I've got jumbo bear paws for hands, but it's fairly thin. This is coming closer to a hollow grind than it is anything else. So it's quite slicey, and it came decently sharp. So I ain't gonna complain about that. And the grind lines are pretty decent, actually. I mean, I've definitely got worse, and I've actually got worse from far more expensive knives. We have a ferrocerium rod striker notch, a little bit of light jimping, which is pretty comfortable, and it's sort of a clip point. Well, we got a little bit of a swedge coming into the tip, about 1/8 inch thick, Aussate steel. I don't have a problem with Aussate. I think it's a pretty decent steel. It's tough. Now the sheath, it's a pretty simple thermoplastic kind of deal, nothing fancy. It does work pretty good. We'll go ahead. No rattle. Retention is pretty good. That is also where you have your ferrocerium rod. It's got a decent retention on that. This is a pretty small one. Also has canvas micarta handle. But that's not too hateful. That locks in good. Now your belt clip on the back. Ratchets. You have 180-degree motion there. And as Peterbilt Knife Guy pointed out, if you bump this thing while you're carrying it, it don't take a whole lot to move it. So, there's that. And this is a clip. It just clips on over your belt. Not a fan of that. If I want to carry this thing, I'll probably modify that so where it won't open. This one's not quite such an easy thing to change my belt loop carrying option on it. The way it's built into the sheath itself, I would probably end up almost having to break that. I just have to snap it off. But not really going to do that to this one, because this would most likely for me just be a backup in a pack, not a primary carry. So, uses. What do I think it's good for? Definitely, I think this will be all right for practicing bushcraft. Now, mind you, don't recommend you go battening with this thing. That's That's pretty thin steel. And we get very, very thin towards that tip. It's got quite a sharp tip on it. So you want to watch how you're using this thing. Carving is great. We'll do an outhouse review on it, and we'll see how good it works to wood. The handle is actually quite comfortable. It fits good. It's not too big, not too small. And I got, like I said, pretty big hands. Reverse gripping it feels pretty good. So if you're, like I said, camp task, maybe peeling potatoes, something like that, it's quite comfortable to use that fashion. So, drain hole. Yes, it does have a drain hole. I'm sorry. I knew I was forgetting to mention something. It does have a drain hole, both sides. So for the price, thus far, not too bad. I'm not too upset about that. So if anybody's looking for a budget fixed blade, mind you, realistic limitations with this due to the blade stock and everything. But for just general camp knife, practicing general bushcraft skills with, yeah, I think it's probably just fine for that. So we'll go ahead and end the video here. Yeah, bring you up here and I'll give you my final thoughts real quick. Well, what do I really think about it? It's like I said, this is on the more affordable scale. Now with that, obviously there's compromises. Obviously the fit and finish is not great. It did come pretty sharp, which is nice. It's always a bonus. How would I rate the sheath? At 1 out of 10, I give it a solid 4. It's not real Kydex. However, it's a sheath that shouldn't be compromised by moisture. The carrying belt part, don't like that much, but like I said, now for me, mostly this would be a nice backup knife that I'm carrying in my pack. That way I had one in case my primary got lost or broken, or something happened to the edge so bad I actually couldn't do much with it with some detail work. Then I have this nice sharp one, and camp, just your general camp task. Definitely food prep is definitely slicey enough to do food prep. Skinning, dressing game, especially where the belly is on this thing. It is actually really, really sharp right through here. So that would actually lend it quite well for processing game. So, with that, everybody, please like, share, and subscribe. Hit the bell icon so you get notified when I have new content out. Guys, get more active in the comments if you would. Communicate and let me know what you think. And with that, I'll see y'all in another video.